all right. It's Friday, so you know what that means. It's time for another episode of Edible RX, the podcast that teaches autoimmune warriors to use anti-inflammatory food as medicine. But quickly, before we get into the episode, if you're new here, hi there. I'm Laura Rodriguez, holistic chef, autoimmune warrior, and creator of the Flare Free Academy. In 2015, I started using anti-inflammatory food as medicine to manage the symptoms of my rheumatoid arthritis, and I saw great success. But my healing journey wasn't a linear one. It had many twists and turns along the way. And throughout all of it, I learned that in order for me to stay well, I have to stay consistent. That's why I created the Flare Free Academy, an online community of autoimmune warriors and foodies working hard to heal from within. And healing from within doesn't stop with food, guys. It goes way beyond that, and we get into all of it right here on the podcast. With interviews from functional medical professionals and fellow autoimmune warriors, more in-depth info on my own personal journey, and so much more. I believe there's power in hearing people's stories. Not only does it help you see what's possible for yourself, but it also encourages you to do the hard work that's required to actually see the results that you want. Diet and lifestyle is medicine, and healing is possible. You just have to have the right tools, guidance, support, and resources to make it happen. And that's what this podcast is all about. So without further ado, let's get into today's episode. You're so fast and efficient. It would have taken me 3 hours just to cook one of those dishes. I don't know how you do it. I hear feedback like this from my clients a lot. And you know what? I am a fast meal prepper. And not just because I'm a chef who's been meal prepping professionally since 2015, but because I developed a quick and efficient, stress-free way to meal prep out of necessity. You see, after 2.5 years of being a full-time private chef for a country music star, I was burnt out. I left that job to work for myself again full-time, and I had to develop a business plan that would allow me to make the money I needed to take care of my family without sacrificing my health and my well-being along the way. So I started meal prepping for some of the busiest, most elite clients all across Middle Tennessee. And I decided to increase my prices so that I could work less and therefore keep my stress levels down and my health intact. And to do this successfully without making it too expensive and out of reach for my clients, I developed a quick cooking method that utilizes dishes that require minimal work. The faster that I work, the less time I'm in other people's kitchens, and the more time I have to spend with my family, and the more energy I have to cook for my own family when I get home from work. You see, the less stress that I have, the healthier my immune system is, and the lower my inflammation is, and the better I can live with autoimmunity. So all of this made me realize that the system that I had to meal prep for my clients wasn't just something that I could benefit from. It was actually something that all of my students inside the Flare Free Academy could benefit from. This realization came to me after one of my students hired me to do a personal holistic chef session for her. She was suffering with debilitating symptoms of autoimmunity and mold toxicity at the time, and she really struggled to actually cook the recipes that she was receiving inside her monthly seasonal meal plans often enough to reap the benefits of them. But she wasn't the only one. I noticed a pattern with a segment of my students. There were the students who showed up to the live cooking demonstrations, tried the recipes included in their meal plans at home for themselves, posted pictures of their creations, and gave testimonies on the feedback that they were feeling with their health. And then there were the others, the ones who didn't show up for the live trainings, who didn't share any feedback, who weren't posting on social media pictures of their food. Now, I know that within that segment, there are those students that were doing the work and seeing the results, but they weren't really fond of posting on social media. And so I never really heard about it. But I would get messages in my inbox from others that were saying consistency isn't my strong suit. And, I haven't tried any of the recipes yet. And after that single session for my client, it dawned on me that there's a segment of my students who needed something simpler. They needed accountability to help them to actually show up for themselves to cook the recipes. They needed someone to cheer them on and to congratulate them for their hard work. They needed more than just a printed recipe packet. So I decided to create a program that would teach them my quick and efficient method of meal prepping, utilizing simple to execute quick cooking recipes that they can cook on sheet trays in the broiler. This is exactly what you'll learn in my free meal prep recipe packet that I have available for you on my website, which I will link for you in the show notes. So students could get the maximum results possible by putting in the least amount of work. That was my idea behind sharing my meal prep method with all of my Flair Free Academy students so that they can finally get to reap the benefits of Flair Free. They can finally get to experience what it feels like to eat Flair Free. Because tasting is believing, and the benefits that you feel from eating anti-inflammatory, they eventually become, the driving force, the motivation to actually continue cooking and eating Flair Free, to continue this lifestyle. Because here's the thing, and I feel like I don't say this enough, so if this is your first time hearing this, I apologize. Eating Flair Free once in a while, here and there, only when you have the time and energy to cook, and then eating like microwavable Trader Joe's dinners and, eating takeout and restaurant food and drive-through the rest of the time, it is not going to give you the results that you're looking for. You have to eat Flair Free 3 times a day, every day, for at least 6 weeks to notice a difference in the way you feel. So realizing that this was something that my students were struggling with, I wasn't willing to leave them hanging. I wasn't willing to safeguard this quick, easy to execute, low stress method of meal prepping that I designed for myself as an autoimmune warrior and meal prep chef, out of fear of hurting my business. I know some of you may think like, well, why would you go out of your way to teach me how to do this? Wouldn't that hurt your business as a personal chef? No. Okay, there's always going to be the segment of people that are willing to pay for something because they don't have the time and energy to do it. And there's always this segment of people that are DIYers. And so I personally don't get any benefit out of, safekeeping this information and gatekeeping it. I get more out of helping you do this for yourself at home because I want you to succeed at overcoming autoimmunity by using diet and lifestyle as part of your healing protocol. I want you to feel how amazing it is to come out from underneath the debilitating symptoms of your condition. I want you to reclaim your health and get your life back. I want you to have what I have because I know what it feels like to be laid up in bed all day on your days off because you're trying to reserve your energy for your work days because you're silently suffering in pain all day long at work, but you can't not work, right? It's super exhausting. And if you're a parent or an entrepreneur or a busy professional, you're already strapped for time and energy and motivation to tackle all the ordinary daily tasks that you have on your to-do list, So I knew that throwing another complicated, overwhelming, impossible to attain task at you wouldn't get you to start cooking Flair Free consistently enough to reap the benefits of it. I knew it had to be simple. I knew it had to be quick and easy and also fun, something that you would actually want to do. And I'm going to break it all down for you and show you exactly how to do it in a free live upcoming event that I have scheduled for you at the end of the month. I'm going to be offering at 2 different dates and times so that you can choose what works best for your schedule. And a replay will be posted on my website for a couple weeks afterwards, so you can go back and watch it if you can't join us live. So if you've been struggling to cook Flair Free, if you have my recipes, if you have Flair Free ingredients in your pantry right now, but you don't have the exact stress-free method, the support, the guidance, the nitty-gritty details, and that's what's been holding you back from dusting off those recipes, tossing on an apron, busting out those Flair Free ingredients, and getting your butt in the kitchen for a few hours on your day off, stay tuned for more details on this amazing free resource I have coming up for you. I'm so excited to share it with you. And I have a free gift for everyone who stays until the end of the training. and a prize for one lucky winner who shows up live. So definitely try to come live to that training. All of the details will be announced next Wednesday, February 14th, on social media, on my blog, via email, all of the things. It's my Valentine's Day gift to you. I'm so excited to share it with you, and I can't wait for you to join me. Have a great weekend. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Edible RX, the podcast that teaches autoimmune warriors to use diet and lifestyle as medicine. If you found this podcast episode helpful, please leave a rating or a review wherever you're listening to this right now. I'd really appreciate it, and it will help other autoimmune warriors find the podcast. This is Laura Rodriguez signing off for today. Until next week, eat your damn vegetables.